By habitual smoking, the body doesn't have much of a chance to function properly.
Most of us have heard all about smoking and nicotine and how addictive it is. There's nothing new about that. But what about vaping? I was curious, so I did a bit of digging. First off, yes, most vaping products do contain nicotine. In fact, they can deliver as much or even more nicotine than a cigarette. So what does that do to you? Well, nicotine increases the release of dopamine, and dopamine can make you feel good at first, but that doesn't last long. I'm just gonna quote this. Nicotine works in the brain by interfering with the normal functioning of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. If you keep vaping it, you actually build up a tolerance to nicotine, which is not a good thing. Because you need more and more nicotine to get those good feelings back, and for your brain to work normally.
So the evil cycle goes on and on.
Suspension and or alternative placement pending a disciplinary hearing, expulsion pending a disciplinary hearing, referral to authorities. Students, if you are caught with a vape, you will be suspended pending a due process hearing. You will be suspended if you're caught with a vape pen. You'll be suspended and you will go before a due process committee and they will determine whether or not you're expelled, placed in alternative, or what have you. So please do not get caught with a vape pen here on campus. Thank you, and let's have a great rest of the afternoon.
What's up, world? I'm a determined black man, John Jay, and as usual, I'm determined to reach at least one somebody that listen to the sounds of my voice, if not each and every one of you all. On today, I have a subject matter that I want to speak in reference to, and it's got about 7 points. It's really not a subject matter or a topic, but I got about 7 points I want to make that all reflect the need to unify. Now, let me first of all say, I love each and every one of you all that are listening. I hope that you get something from this, and I hope that you take it and run with it. Give it to somebody else. Hand it off. You know what I'm saying? Because knowledge and information is at a great need in our community. But not only do we need the information, we need the activism. We need people that get out here and actually put it to the road, put it down, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Because too many of us talking about it, and it ain't enough of us actually being about it. So I do try to be active as much as possible. I'm getting older, so I don't have as much fire in me as I used to. But when stuff happen like what happened today, I'm about to share something with you all. But when stuff happened like what happened today, it just sets something off in me. And that's how I know how passionate I am about our youth and my community as a whole, the black community. As y'all can see, I'm repping. Yeah, I'm repping. I got the right colors on. Yep. And it ain't nothing gang related. So let me say this also. Let's find a way to put our difference to the side. You be vice lord, you be gangster, you be crip, you be blood, you be black. Let's let that color resonate first. And I ain't saying don't stand on your principles, but I'm saying let's find a way to resolve all our issues that we done had amongst each other, and to take from our principles that we've learned from our different organizations, and let's build up our community. Let's learn how to come together, even with the so-called peons. There's still a lot of young brothers out here that ain't screaming, though it's many more that are, you know what I'm saying? But and that's another problem, you know what I'm saying? You see gang members get along with other gang members from different sets, but to talk down on a man that ain't screaming, that ain't claiming no gang. Now that's crazy to me, because to me, to see a young man that can stand on his own feet, that speaks volumes about a man, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but I'm just being real. I think it takes a powerful individual. I think it takes an inner strength, that unspeakable inner strength for a young man, especially in these days and times, to be able to walk alone. Cause see, most of these guys, they run in packs. They like hyenas or wolves. You feel me? So I had a situation this morning at the school where a young man apparently and allegedly took some type of drug. Some say it was a vape. And it was apparent that it was something in that vape that wasn't supposed to be, because it caused the young man to lose consciousness and to become unresponsive. Start foaming at the mouth, eyes rolled back into his head, shaking as though he was having a stroke or a heart attack. I'm not sure, because after we responded, shortly thereafter, the ambulance and that response team moved in and they got him. But that was not before a whole turn of events took place, and it actually took them about 45 minutes to get here. I'm gonna get them 40 minutes, but 45 what I think it was. And so this is not my first time dealing with that response team. I've been working in medical this time around for almost 7 years. And I've seen have to deal with this team on different scenes that we responded to. And they just don't have the enthusiasm for our people. They don't have the passion for our people. They don't show the resolve for our people. They don't show the compassion for our people that I feel that should be displayed. For one, because they have a large contract with our city, with a city that's predominantly black. And to me, you know what I'm saying, I went to city officials. I've actually shared some videos, and I might be speaking a little bit too much, showing my hand a little bit too much, but I've actually sent some videos to some officials that could do something about it. Because here we are sharing the wealth of our community as we always do, and this need to be a prime example of why we need to stick together and keep our money in our hood. Because they don't give a damn about us. They come here, set up shop. And I mean, when I say set up shop, right in the middle of our town, or this little town, right in the middle of this little town, they have a hub where or hub, or whatever you want to call it, where they park the emergency response vehicles, and they have a team inside of a house that they bought and created and turned into a business, or turned into their hub where they, responds from. I mean, it's right there, less than 5 minutes away from everything. But every time something happens, it's taking 45 minutes. It's taking 30 minutes. I mean, I can get from here to a whole nother 2 other counties over in 45 minutes, both ways. So what is the problem? Why do they come on the scene when they do get on the scene? They walking slow. I mean, these are emergency situations where a young man, high school student, foaming at the mouth, convulsing, shaking, uncontrollable. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know what he on. They don't know what's going on. Is he having a heart attack? Is he having a stroke? Is he having a seizure? But they nonchalantly walk in, stroll in. Some of them got on cowboy boots. Some of them got on loafers, topside. Not even prepared. Don't got gloves on, don't have gloves on. Asking the young man to get up on his feet and to walk out on his own power. The man is almost, by this time he's come back too, but eyes is still rolled back in the back of his head. I don't get it. So let this be a prime example as to why we need to keep our money in our hood, y'all. And I mean this with every fiber of my body and my means. I got 7 points I want to touch on, y'all, and I want y'all to listen carefully because this is destroying us. Number 1, drugs. And yes, it's been a while since I made a video. I've been out of it ever since I realized that YouTube demonetized me. But I said today, starting back today, I made one video this year and I shared it and it just explained why I wasn't making videos, because I was going through a state of depression. Because I worked hard to get monetized, yet I get demonetized before I can even capitalize off 1 red cent. So that's disheartening. Plus people don't support. They don't support with Cash App. They never supported with the super thanks. I had 1 person to Cash App me. Yeah, ever since I began this plight. And I ain't asking you to just give it to me. No. I'm gonna utilize it properly. And that's another point I need to make. But I ain't gonna get there just yet. Drugs. We need to be more mindful and thoughtful and think about our lives. We only got 1 life to live, y'all. You only have 1 life to live. You don't get a do-over. So young men, stop putting all these harmful drugs in your body and trying all these different pills and different things that you don't even know what they are.
Vaping is dangerous, especially for teens and young adults, and it can be addicting. Dr. Ernst von Schwartz and his daughter Vanessa both joining us this morning. Dr. von Schwartz, good to see you again. You've been helping us so much through this pandemic with our COVID questions. This morning, though, going to turn this a little more personal to you and your daughter. Tell us your experience with vaping and what you guys have been going through.
Well, I started vaping when I was 15 years old. It had become this new trend. My friends and I were all doing it. And over time, I ended up becoming very addicted to it, to the point where if I went more than 30 minutes without it, I'd feel nauseous, cranky, and anxious. Over time, I continue to have symptoms every time I vaped, but I ignored them, and eventually I struggled with many physical limitations. I couldn't even get up from a chair or go up a flight of stairs.
And Dr. von Schwartz, what was it like? You work in the healthcare industry. Obviously, you're a cardiologist by trade. Seeing your daughter struggle with something like this and it affect her so much. What was that like for you?
It's horrible. It's horrible. I mean, we know the health risk of vaping with regard to what we call the acute vaping associated lung injury. So we all have seen patients, young teens basically, come into the emergency rooms with lung failure, respiratory failure because of some inflammations in the lung. But now we learn more and more, it's more than that. There's gum diseases. There's systemic inflammatory responses caused by the chemicals, by vitamin E acetate, especially by these high doses of nicotine in the vaping products. And that obviously can lead to a systemic inflammation, meaning all over the body. And in Vanessa's case, she was diagnosed with something which is called dermatomyositis, which is something we usually see in older people. It's kind of an immune disease. It's like a reaction where muscle tissue and skin is affected and breaks down. It's a disaster.
And they're telling people that vaping is a safer alternative to smoking. Obviously, you would kind of push back against that, right?
Absolutely. And if you think about it, I mean, at least 20% of high school kids are vapors right now. It's an endemic, and it's very dangerous, and we are just getting a grip on the potential health risks long term.
Vanessa, what would you say to people? We only have a couple of seconds here. What would you say to people that are maybe thinking about picking up that vape pen, and how are you doing physically now?
Please do not pick up a vape pen. If I could go back in time and get my health back, I would. I'm doing a lot better than I was, but every day I struggle with muscle weakness and muscle pain, and it continues to haunt me.
Dr. Ernst von Schwartz and his daughter, Vanessa, thanks so much for joining us here and explaining your story. We look forward to seeing you again. And Dr. von Schwartz, we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much.
You're in high school. Be high off the freedoms of not having to pay bills, or the freedoms of knowing that you can go commit to a college. You about to go to an institution of higher learning. Get high off of the fact that you don't have the responsibilities of grown men and women just yet. Get high off the fact that you're elevating your way of thinking, and it's putting you in a position to be productive in the workforce, or even become an entrepreneur. But you can't do nothing if you're dead. You can't do nothing if your brain fried. I'm talking about these high-powered drugs too, y'all. Our kids out here trying them all. Mojo was one thing, but I know y'all done heard about the fentanyl, and they putting it in everything because it's addictive. They want your kids to get hooked, but it's also deadly. Talk to your kids, y'all. Talk to your kids. Any kids that's watching this, man, y'all please stay away from the drugs. I tried a few drugs growing up. I thought I had tried them all. Once I was able to realize how much God brought me through and how risky I was playing it, man, I couldn't drop to my knees and thank him for letting me make it through. And now I know if I had came up in these times and had been willing to try some of the stuff these kids trying, I probably wouldn't have made it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the same God I served then will be the same God for me now. So I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just seeing too many of my young brothers out here destroy their lives on drugs, whether it be to death by the drugs or getting on the drugs and going out here to do something to make somebody kill you. Or you go out here and kill somebody. But all of it is induced by drugs. I know we ain't push the drugs in our own community. I know this. And I know they make a lot of laws, draconian laws, that seek to devour our communities, our young black men. But as young black men, we gotta be smarter. We gotta move different. We can't get them what they want. That's what they want. They want us to destroy ourselves. I say this time and time again. You go in white neighborhoods, you never see pawn shops. You never see liquor stores. You don't see 7-Elevens. You know what I'm saying? With people hanging out and loitering. You don't see that. Because they know how detrimental that is to their neighborhoods. They know how detrimental that is to their kids. They're not gonna introduce this stuff to their children while they're in the fundamental years of their lives, picking up on everything. So that's number one. Let's be mindful, y'all. Let's talk to our kids about these drugs. Remind them that you could take one drug. Man, I've seen so many guys ruin themselves. I've seen guys that should have been professional basketball players go out to a party, get drugs slipped on them. I've seen young ladies that were beautiful, man. A few of them, beautiful. I even know a couple of cats that used to do this stuff, man. And it's sick. And it's even worse now. This we talking about 20 plus years ago for me. So you know it's turned up now. It's on a whole nother level. And these young ladies want to be accepted by all these type of guys, these different guys and stuff. As I said on another video before, and I posted several times to all different types of sites and even in my blog. These young ladies these days, and this ain't no shots at Gorilla, Glorilla, or whatever the name is, or Megan Thee Stallion, none of y'all female rappers, but I don't like it. I think that y'all need to change the message, because there's too many of y'all trying to act like dudes, and the dudes you acting like, most of them guys are failures. Because whether they accomplish something today and lose it all tomorrow, the fact is they still lost it all. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be to the system, the prison system, or to the graveyard. You know what I'm saying? You still lost it all. So you was fighting a losing battle to begin with. Why even fight that battle? And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Drugs ain't gonna resolve none of them issues that you're going through, bro. I know it's a fix for a moment. It's a momentary fix. It's a momentary fix. But in just a few minutes, you're gonna be right back to reality. You're gonna have to face it head on. So drugs ain't your answer. And number 2, put these guns down, man. I mean, I don't even think half of y'all know how to fight no more. Y'all don't even look like you can fight no more. You know what I'm saying? You know, we used to have cats that look like they can fight. You know, you used to have cats that look like they can fight and really thump. You know what I'm saying? You know, you might not be afraid to go in the trunk either, but he'll get on your ass first. You know what I'm saying? If you know, unless you actually made him feel like his life was threatened till he had to go to that point of extreme violence. We had guys that can really thump. You know what I'm saying? But now, nah. If they ain't in packs, they ain't coming. They gonna grab the strap first. And I know we all gotta protect ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't know who is who and who gonna have the mind to just let it go and who gonna just let it blow. You feel me? So that make good people be forced to be in bad situations and have to respond to them, you know, in a bad way. So everybody kind of like gotta keep that eye, you know what I'm saying? If you lawful and legal, then you know most people want to keep it because you know don't nobody want to lose their lives, and it ain't nobody really safe. You feel me? When you got 12 and 13-year-olds around here packing pistols and rifles and shit longer than 8 years tall. You see what I'm saying? And they don't have father figures or male figures in their lives that can explain to them how easily it will be for them to go out here and commit that crime, but how long of a time they're gonna have to do behind it, or even possibly lose their life in the process. See, a lot of youngsters get out here running behind other youngsters, the blind leading the blind, and they never let it cross their mind that just like I got my piece of iron, it might be somebody on the other side of that door where I'm finna go in there and rob, sitting there waiting to blow my shit back. You know what I'm saying? Or put you on a shit bag. Either way the cut go, your life is gonna change drastically. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats done went into situations thinking that they had the upper hand just because they had a gun in their hand and didn't make it back out. I know some. Yeah, I know some. You know, in one situation, you know what I'm saying? The cat that they went in to try to rob ended up shooting back, killing one of them and injuring another one. He ended up dying also, but you know, who thought that was gonna happen like that? When you got 3 or 4 guys running somewhere, run up on somebody, running somebody's spot, unexpected. They ain't thinking for a day in a hell. They ain't thinking not once that, oh, this shit can happen to me. But yeah, guess what? It can. And if you keep playing, it will. I told a bunch of cats that done lost their lives or they've been hurt bad. You know what I'm saying? When you play with fire, bro, you gon' get burnt. It ain't no will I, it's when you will get burnt. So we need to be more mindful of life and how precious it is, because we're risking it all for nothing. You know, if you want to risk something, risk doing 4 or 5 years in college, or taking 4 or 5 years and studying something to empower you that can make you become your own boss, an entrepreneur, a CEO, you know, or whatever. Something productive, something positive, something outside of the norm. Look, I'm trying to encourage brothers to be atypical, man. Forget what they call you. They're going to say you lame. They're going to say this. They're going to say that. But one thing, you're going to have a life. And you can create a life however you want to create it. You can make it heaven or you can make it hell for yourself. But don't let nobody else dictate your life. Don't let these other fellas out here encourage you that this street life is cool and it's fun and it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, because that's what they scream. You feel me? My generation was really the beginning of the generations, or maybe the generation before mine, that twisted everything up. and made stuff that was, you know what I'm saying, they turned everything backwards. They crisscrossed everything. They made the word bad good. They made the word good bad. You feel me? Whenever you speak of, like, she bad, you know what I'm saying? What that mean? You already know. So it's just the fact that we need to get our minds back focused on what's important, and what's important is you. And you, and you, and you. I love my people, man. I ain't just wearing this on my head for decoration or just because it's, you know, Black History Month, because it's Black History Month every month for me. 365 days a year. Police ain't never told me or treated me differently on Black History Month, no more different than they would treat me.
9-day suspension and or alternative placement pending a disciplinary hearing, expulsion pending a disciplinary hearing, referral to authorities. Students, if you are caught with a vape, you will be suspended pending a due process hearing. You will be suspended if you're caught with a vape pen. You'll be suspended and you will go before a due process committee, and they will determine whether or not you're expelled, placed in alternative, or what have you. So please do not get caught with a vape pen here on campus. Thank you, and let's have a great rest of the afternoon.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that was the principle. Speaking in reference to the matter that I just spoke about from this morning. Now you see what happens? You have a young man, hopefully he will recover, but also they already have policy in place, so this is going to make them reinforce it. But as you heard, the policy includes expulsion, but not limited to, because you can also be, they can take it further and get you prosecuted. So therefore it goes back to what I was saying as far as criminal jackets and how this could ruin your life before you even make it to the big leagues. You still in high school, you get caught with a vape pen. You're on school grounds. Do you know that that's an enhancement charge? See, a lot of y'all don't even know the law. Y'all here running around trying to break the law. You don't know the law, man. The law got so many stipulations and loopholes and things in it, man, that can get you thrown away or get you some extra time. You think you just got a little vape pen, but not realizing, oh shit, this charge been pushed up. You went from a misdemeanor to a felony, just simply by your location. You didn't even know that, did you? You thought just because you were 15, you was gonna get away with it. Nah. And like I said, I'm in an all-Black community. But these are the necessary steps that have to be taken to protect our children from themselves. Because, as we always say, we are our own worst enemies. It's some other young man that this young man looked up to and thought that it was cool to bring a vape pen to school with whatever in it that he was vaping. And hopefully he lives, like I said, but possibly could have lost his life. And he ain't the first, and he probably won't be the last. But I just want to raise the attention and awareness to matters like this. It's real. Parents, pay attention to your children. Every now and then you got a child with a book bag, something, pull them over, ask them, let you search that. In a lot of schools, that's why they make them wear clear book sacks. But I know kids got many ways of hiding. I mean, a vape pen ain't but this big, so stick it in a pocket, top pocket, there's no way for security or school officials to just pat students down, stuff like that there. So it's simple for them to get it in. That's why it starts at home. Parents, inform your children on how detrimental this stuff is, not only to just them, but to others. If you pass that pen off, if somebody had gave him that pen, when they find out whoever gave him that pen, if that man was to die or something happened to him, that person could be charged. That kid could be charged. And there go 2 children right there gone. One gone to the graveyard and one gone to prison. But God knows how long. Pay attention to your children. All right? And young men, we out here making these babies. I'm speaking to myself as well. I got some young children out here. But as a maturing, getting older young man, no, I ain't no spring chicken no more. I've had time to accumulate and really take a lot of stuff in. And I can see myself for who I really truly am now and what I was then. We're making these babies, y'all. And we're going out here and we're still doing things that can ruin our lives or take our lives, as I said. Who you think gonna raise these children? Who you think gonna care for your kids? Yeah, the mamas can get food stamps. Yeah, the mamas can get all these benefits. I always talk about a lot of these women get a lot more benefits than black men. A lot of black women have a lot of resources that they can tap into and help them a lot faster than black men. But that's neither here nor there. It's still a black man. As a black man, it's our responsibility to raise our children, whether you do it with the parent or you just do it as a co-parent. The children need our influence, and it needs to be a positive influence, because as you can see, all that crap that we were doing, they was watching, they seen it, and now they reenacting it. And not only are they reenacting it, it ain't even an act no more. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us did it to be seen and front and all that. Man, they actually out here, man. They in the streets for real. They told them steal for real. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 got 30s, 50 rounds. 2 of them, Dracos, AKs, you know what I'm saying? 45s and 50 cals. It is dangerous out here in the black communities. So I'm saying all this to say, why make a child if you ain't gonna do what it takes to continue to be there for that child as they grow? You know what I'm saying? I know a bunch of kids or young ladies that's raising children right now because the fathers to the children, they raising these children by themselves. Father to the children, dead due to gun violence. I got a few relatives of my own. Now growing up, that was, very far in between. You never heard those type of things that much. But I mean, now it's like every other female you talk to with children, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, one of my baby daddies got killed last year. Or he got killed last month, last week, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much most of it is happening over ladies, over women, you know what I'm saying? But that's another subject matter. I'm just saying, let's be encouraged to raise our own children, man. Let's make a perfect example. Let's make a great example. Not just an example, but a perfect example. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you gotta do to make that. So now you got number 1, drugs. Leave the drugs alone. Number 2, let's put these guns down. Number 3, let's stop making these babies if we're not gonna do what we gotta do to support them financially, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all the things that are required by us as men by the Most High. We're supposed to be the greatest example for our children. We got young men out here confused as to who their identity really truly is, and they're acting as young ladies, and young ladies, you know what I'm saying, vice versa, acting as young men because they confused. They don't have the support systems at home that we had or the generations before. Because yes, I think my generation marks the beginning of the single parent home when it became more and more prevalent. I would say began in the 90s when I was growing up. Okay. Now, number 4, we need to watch and protect what's most valuable to us. What's the most valuable thing that you could possess? Besides freedom, it's your life. Besides freedom, it's your life. Because with your life, you can do anything. Without it, you can't do nothing. And as a matter of fact, if you lose your life at a young age and you have children, just think about how your children have to grow and how many years they're going to have to go and hear all the stories before they, you know what I'm saying, as they grow up and never truly know why I lost my father. Now, quite naturally, if you lose your life in an accident, it's an accident. It was inevitable. But out here in these streets, banging and slanging, there's no excuse for that. And I ain't saying that it's easy to get out the streets, because I know it ain't. But you got to do what you got to do to remove yourself from those particular settings, because you know what come along with them. And you know that if you continue to bang and you continue to slang, then it's just a matter of time before it's you. Because when you live by, you already know you die by. Whatever you live by, that's more than likely going to be the way that you go out. So if you out here gunning folks down, it's just a matter of time before it's you. And your family will have you on a t-shirt, and your family will have to mourn, and your kids will have to live the rest of their life not knowing what it would have been like to have their one and only father, their one and only mother. Because yes, young ladies out here getting in the streets just as much as these young men. Some of them even going harder than some of the young men. So when I speak as a determined black man, I'm speaking to the masses of us all. I'm speaking to every genre, every gender type, man or woman, or whatever you want to classify yourself or identify yourself by. So that's number 4. So let's go to number 5. Number 5, going to prison. A lot of y'all are obsessed with prison. Why are y'all thinking prison make y'all scholars? I'm serious. I mean, a lot of y'all actually act like going to prison make y'all more qualified or something out here. I hear so many of y'all go in, y'all get out, and that's the first thing we start talking. Yeah, see, in prison, yeah, this is how when I was locked up, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I catch myself from time to time. There's some things in there that I can relate to out here. But at the end of the day, for the most part, man, I'm trying to forget about that shit. Because it wasn't that fun. Not for me. Being away from my family, that's one. You know what I'm saying? Because through it all, I still knew God. I still had a relationship with God. I still talked to God. He still dealt with me. But being distant from my family, I still talk to my family. I still see them occasionally. But it's just that I couldn't do nothing for them. I couldn't go out here and protect them. I couldn't do nothing for them other than wait on them to come pay me a visit. Hope they answer the phone when I call. Hope they got some money on the phone. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I know a lot of y'all wouldn't shit on the street. So you go to prison, you can be who you want to be. Y'all sit up and tell all these stories and these lies about how you sold all this dope and you was big boy this and big boy that. Or you was, you was a hitter. You was a contractor, all these different lies. I done heard all of them. And if you are telling the truth, I mean, it ain't nothing to brag about. But you can go to prison and be whoever you want to be. And then there's a lot of guys that really can't even hustle on the streets, but they go to prison, man, they become goddamn kingpins. It's a lot of money in prison. But it still don't encourage me to want to go in. It still don't encourage me to want to go out here and do anything that can cause me to lose my freedom. Because I fight daily to stay free. I love my freedom. It's hard out here, true enough. And ain't nothing given to you. You know what I'm saying? And everything going up but my checks. But at the end of the day, I'm just thankful to be able to get a check. And I'm thankful to be able to make moves to where I can do whatever I gotta do to survive. Because that just ain't the life for me. I gotta close my eyes around 70 to 130 or 40 other people on the zone with me at all times. Nah. I gotta wake up to motherfucking tennis shoes squirching and screeching. Sheets up, nigga getting their ass blooded. Nah. Mob calls? Nah. Niggas on bed rest, jello call? Nah. That ain't for me. That ain't the life for me. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas, they really just thrive in that atmosphere, But I want to encourage you all. For those of you all that's thinking that it's cool, it's not. And it's not going to qualify you to become any greater unless that you take from it and make yourself better. See, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? They call it corrections, but they don't correct you. It's up to you to utilize that time, especially in the great state of Mississippi. They don't even have a lot of programs that other states have, work release programs and stuff. They have some, but they ain't really equipping you for nothing but to come back. You get out, you can do a 25-year bid. When you get out, they're going to give you a $25 money order and a bus ticket. Now, when you get out that bus, how far you think you're going to go with that $25 in 2023? Not far at all. And you're going in, you get in that system, you go in, you get out, you go in, before you know it, you're 40. You go in, you get out, before you know it, you're 50. Then the next thing you know, half of your people dead and gone, man. Don't nobody remember you. You ain't got nobody to call home to. So then when you get out, you ain't got no choice but to go back because you ain't got a support system. And you don't even know how to support yourself because you done spend most of your time inside. Now, for those of you that done taken prison and allowed yourself to become reformed, and you got out and made a better life for yourself, became an entrepreneur, it's a lot of young men that get out on parole and probation and, you know what I'm saying, get out and they never look back. They make the best out of it. They go become truck drivers. I done even heard guys actually go get they LLCs and start their own business, entrepreneurs. I've heard guys get out, start dog kennels. I know a lot of y'all probably heard of Pit Bulls and Parolees. That's a show that used to come on TV. I don't know if it still does or not. But I know some actual, guys, parolees that got out, started their own Pit Bull kennels and Rottweiler kennels and stuff, Something honorable. Something where, you know what I'm saying, it's got paperwork to back you up. Something honorable where you can actually tell your kids, look, I want you to carry the torch. I want you to carry this legacy. This is something I started, No, prison don't make a person bad. It's when you continue to do the same things over and over, going back and forth, to me, is when it's bad. But you got some very intelligent people. Like I just told a person today, He said, man, I know you a highly intelligent person. I said, man, yeah. I said, but they never stopped me from making bad decisions. I done made a bunch of poor decisions. Yeah, I have. And that's why right to this day, I'm still suffering from that. I'm still paying off fines. I'm still behind in child support. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna make it from 1 month to the next. You know what I'm saying? Because the checks ain't rolling in like, some people put on or some people actually getting it. But I still feel confident out here more than I do in there that my time is coming. See, I don't see opportunity inside them walls. The only opportunity I have is to find me another book to read. Time to sit to myself and actually bring myself to reality as to how life should be and what it could be. And so now I'm just trying to make all of my dreams come true. And I just want to tell you, you can do it. You can do it. Anything you want to do. Just stay away from prison, man. So we had number one, drugs. Stay away from the drugs, man. They taking over our community. They have taken over our community. Stay away from the guns, because the guns, just as the drugs, probably even more, taking us off the map. I know it is even more. But see, you really can't put a number on how many people die from drugs, because a lot of times they're going to say, it was some other underlying condition. But over time, those drugs tearing your heart down. Those drugs tearing down your immune system. Them drugs tearing your body down. Leave the drugs alone. Put the guns down. Stop making these illegitimate babies if we ain't going to stick around. I've done it before. And it hurts me because I got sons. I got sons that our bond is distance. You know what I'm saying? Our bond ain't close like it should be. And it's due to my negligence. Me leaving them behind. Me feeling like it was more important for me to run the streets and to, handle beef than to get more oriented with my children and to be a better father. But I thank God He's still allowing me the time to redeem myself. And in doing so, I want to take time to help somebody else. So put the drugs down. Put the guns down. Stop making the illegitimate babies if we ain't going to do what we got to do to take care of them and to show them the right way. Leave these streets alone so we can stop dying so young due to gun violence. And stop going to prison thinking that makes you somebody esteemed or something. Like we feel like, I hear guys speak about prison like they just graduated with a PhD or something. At least a master's, you know what I'm saying? You think some of these guys at least got a master's or a bachelor's degree. I mean, you can use that time to actually get your degrees. If you know what you're doing, you got different classes, you can take correspondence. And in some places they actually have where they have these systems in place where you can actually obtain your barber's license and different trades and things like that. So you have something when you get out that can help you actually make money in this capitalist society. It's the only way you can make it. And number 6, let's just stop repeating the cycle. Let's stop repeating the cycle. Let's start repeating the cycle, because that's what we're doing. That we repeating the cycle. We're going from generation to generation, continue to repeat the same old cycle. We done got caught up in this bad cycle and we can't let it go. It's time to let it go, man. Be the first one in your family to finish college. Be the first one in your family to start their own business. Yeah, I know y'all heard it before. Yeah, you got to go to college to become CEO, but you ain't got to get a GED to be the owner. You got to go to college to get that position. College will get you a job. But when you're smart and you use your mind correctly and you are creative, that's how you be. Those are the real pioneers. Those are the engineers of their own futures. Those are the entrepreneurs. That's the mindset. Like, I don't have to have a college degree to be an entrepreneur. All I have to do is have an inkling, a great idea, and put it in motion. Make it pay. If it ain't paying, leave it alone. And that just brings me to number 7. And last but not least, break the curse. Break the cycle.
Start a positive trend.
Don't be a repeat offender. Don't be afraid to say, nah, man, I ain't going with y'all tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? Now and I always say this, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of good guys get put in bad circumstances and they end up having to do what they got to do. And I'm going to do that too. But at the end of the day, I'm going to do what I got to do to try to be removed as much as possible from those type of settings, so I don't even have to encounter that type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? Something that's going to push me out there to make me have to do what I got to do and respond to it. I just, I don't even interact with that type of stuff. When I sense it, I get up and leave. It ain't about being scary. It's about being smart, and it's about surviving, and it's about staying alive and staying out here in this free world where I can do what I need to do to be a man. So I'm in somebody else's beck and calling now. Yeah, we thugging. We might be gang banging or whatever. And yeah, inmates run the prisons, not the COs. There ain't enough COs to run no prison. But at the end of the day, they still got to follow those rules, or they gonna get shook down, stripped, cavity searched. That's not a man. I don't want to feel that way. You don't tell me to bend over, squat, and cough all the time, waking me up out the middle of my, waking me up in the middle of the night out of my sleep to do a drug analysis, or, shake me down, search my property, tear my property up, and then tell me to clean it up. You feel me? Out there picking peas and corn and shit out the field, slaving for free, belonging to the state in which you committed that crime. Nah, that's not cool. So that's why I'm encouraging you, and it's encouraging me to be all I could be and do all I can to break the generational curses that have been keeping us down for so long. Yeah, we can be our own worst enemy, but there are a lot of systematic things that have been put in place to try to entrap us as well. But it's up to us. Why it's on us? It's because it's up to us to be smart enough to bob and weave. It's on us to know that the system ain't set up to help us develop and grow. It's set up so that you can continue to go in that never closing door, that forever revolving door. The prison industrial system is a mechanism that's eating our children up. Just had a case not long ago. I'm gonna speak on it briefly and I'm gonna let y'all go, because this is what really touched me just the other day that made me actually want to drop this video. For those of you all that's liking what you're hearing, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe right now. I know it's been a while since I dropped the video, especially on anything like I'm talking now, because this is my passion. This is what I am here to do. And this is what I'm gonna do. Whether YouTube monetizes me again or not. As long as God give me breath in my body and I'm healthy enough to be able to speak to you all, and I got the tools that I need to be able to create these videos, because I ain't getting no younger. And my heart go out to these youngsters that don't know the trouble that they headed for. And I just want to give you some pointers that can possibly slow you down just enough to where you can hear and maybe listen to what I'm saying and let it sink in just a little bit to where you know what? Nah, I ain't gonna do him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't worth it. You feel me? Like, it's so many troubles that I got into myself that when I look back, I'm like, what did I gain from it? I ain't gained shit. I lost everything. So we gotta be smart, man. I love y'all, bro. I love all my brothers and sisters, and that's why my heart go out to y'all, and I try to, I guess you can call it, preach to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So keep God first in your life, man, because he'll be the head and he'll protect you from a lot of things. And if your relationship gets strong, he'll give you favor. And he probably already got you in his favor because somebody else already probably prayed for you. A lot of us living on somebody else's prayers. Real talk. I'm one of them. I made it through a lot of stuff because of somebody else's prayers. It probably was my mama, could have been my grandmama, my granddaddy, all of them before they passed. But I knew God, but I ain't had time enough to take time for myself to acknowledge him and for all he was doing for me and all the things he was bringing me through. It was like in the back of my head, I know it's God watching over me, but I'm getting in my own feeling like, yeah, he gave me sense enough to know how to maneuver through these cats. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? With me, basically, kind of getting a little pig-headed. But, we tend to do that. We get puffed up sometimes. We start feeling invincible, you know what I'm saying? You make it through a few situations or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Until you actually down on your back and down on your luck. You notice? Even an atheist, when he get down on his luck, he you know what I'm saying? He on the dying bed, he call out for who? Lord help me. Yeah. Anyway, I love all y'all. Well, y'all, please go check out my spread shop. Check out my spread shop. I got the link in the description as well as in the bio. Go check out that spread shop, y'all. Check out some of those sweaters, those t-shirts, those caps, the designs. I created all myself with us in mind. Yeah. So if you will, support the black man and the movement. The movement is the most important to the black man. And the movement is for us to unify. The movement is for us to come together, and together show strength. You see in these cases where they exposing how these folks did, like with the boy Tyree up there in Memphis. This is when we come together. It's when we're not afraid to put that phone and videotape and show so somebody else can see. Because for so long we lived in fear, afraid to speak out. That some of us want to live by these codes, the street codes, no snitching, da. Man, it's time for us to wake up, man. Protect what's best. Protect what's ours. And that's us. They ain't no you or me if they ain't no us. Protect our future, protect our kids. I ain't gonna waste a lot of time on these bookers that's already writing and trying to argue with me about this and that. Because I already know the objective. I already know what we need to do. It's just a matter of us doing it. When they see unity, they respect it. And they ain't got no choice but to honor it and to do something about whatever we speaking about. When they see us all as one, whether we marching into the courtroom together, around a sheriff department, police department, or just in the middle of the town hall, in the front of the town hall, in the middle of the city. When they see that, it shows them, oh, these people mean business. These people want action. And that's what we gotta do. So let's stop just talking about it and let's do it. If y'all have any questions, y'all please feel free to drop them in the comment section. Any ideas y'all have with how we can unify and pull each other back together. Push some of this hate to the side. Let some of these colors that we represent, let some of that, push that to the side for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even say for a minute. Let's just do away with the hate that come behind it. I ain't saying don't rep your color. Rep your color. But stand on principles. Love your brothers and your sisters. Let's stop hating each other, man. We hate each other. We hate the breath that we breathe, bro. We could talk to a white man and be just as cool. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As soon as a black dude walking there with some dreads attached, we looking, watching them and shit. Why? Because we live in fear of each other. We have a complex about each other. And we just eager to erase each other to the point where we taking each other out, man. And it's at an alarming rate. These white folks happy. You know why? Because they already feel like we are the greatest threat to what they call the impurity of their race. Because we grow at such a rate. And blacks are dominant. Whenever we breed with one of them, they become us. So if we continue to grow and populate, what you think gonna happen over time? They get, you feel me? And that's what they don't want. That's why a lot of this shit set up the way it's set up. I just gotta take time to pay attention. A lot of us ain't paying attention. There's a lot of other things I want to mention, but I ain't gonna mention everything on this video. I just want to hit those 7 points. Leave the drugs alone, leave the guns alone. Stop making these illegitimate babies we ain't gonna take care of them. Let's stop dying at a young age out here playing around these streets. And let's get back to what's real. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop going to prison and thinking that that's what's cool. And let's just stop the repeated cycle. Let's stop repeating that cycle and let's break the curse. Break the curse. It's a curse. It's a generational curse that's been put in place by the oppressors. And it's been done so strategically and so camouflaged that we can't even see it. It's like a chameleon. It's blending in. It's in your subconscious. You don't know it. See, a lot of stuff they do towards us, it's in their subconscious. They don't even know what they're doing. They just doing it because that's what they've been taught. That's what they done heard all their life. It's all they know now. And they don't even realize it. So, I love each and every one of you all. Like I said, if you hadn't hit that like button, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Go check out some of the merch on the Spread Shop. In the Spread Shop, I'll drop the link in the description as well as in the bio. And until the next time, I hope that each and every one of you all stay up, stay humble, and stay good people. I am a determined black man, John J. I love it, each and every one of you all. Stay up, y'all. I'm out. One.
Bye.